Let's say that we want to narrow down our search even further. What we want to make use of are the advanced filters that MRU LibrarySearch has to offer. For this section, I want to show you a little bit about how to use the more advanced filters in the MRU LibrarySearch. As you add more keywords to your search, some of the filters will disappear. So I've backed up my search to be a little bit more simplistic for the sake of this demonstration. I've gone back to sports psychology as my basic search, and I'm searching for all items under research type. Before I had articles. This search gives me over 350,000 results, so I need to narrow this down. On the right-hand side of your search, you'll see this section called Adjust Your Results. The first part of Adjust Your Results is Expand Results beyond MRU Library. We're going to leave this for now, but checking this box will include results outside of the MRU Library collection. This is useful if you have a very specific search and you're having difficulty finding resources just through our library. Under Adjust Your Results, we have a variety of different filters to choose from. You'll see that the first one is how we sort our results. By default, results will be sorted by relevance, meaning that the search engine will do its best to try to bring the most relevant resources to the top of the search. Next, we have availability. We have available online, peer-reviewed, open access, and physical items. Physical items will be books and physical journal articles and other resources that we have in the MRU Library building. For this particular topic, what I'm looking for are articles that are from peer-reviewed academic journals. So peer-reviewed is something that I probably want to select. We also have resource type. The resource type filter will allow you to filter your search to the type of resource you're looking for. Now in this particular example, I'm looking for an article, but I could limit my search to dissertations, book chapters, reviews, reference entries. So this would be encyclopedias, dictionaries, books, etc. This is a particularly useful way to narrow your search. Also note that we have a specific newspaper search below that'll open up a different search if you're looking for newspaper articles. We also have location. Location is particularly useful if you're looking for physical materials in the MRU Library building. And in this case, we get a few options for the children's literature section, the curriculum collection, both on level or floor 3, books in the main collection, the music and film collection, etc. The creation date will limit my search to when the resource was published. By default, the broadest creation date is selected. Here we have from 1900 to 2020, so I'll probably want to narrow this down. The subject section will limit your searches to the types of subjects for your particular topic. For instance, sports psychology is very much a psychology topic, so I could limit my search to psychology research only. Author creator will allow you to limit your search to the particular author or creator, so that could be an academic, an individual author. It could also be a group like the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Journal title will allow you to limit your search to a particular journal. This is a useful search technique because even with doing a basic search, I have a pretty good idea now of where sports psychology articles tend to get published. You can limit your search to the language used for publication. You can also limit your search to newer records. These would be resources that MRU Library most recently acquired. I'm going to go through this list again, and I'm going to select the filters that I think would yield me the best results. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that as you select filters in these different categories, some of the options will disappear. For this particular topic, I'm interested in peer-reviewed academic journals, and I want to be able to access them online. So under availability, I'm going to click both of these checkboxes. I'm going to hit Apply Filter. Right away, this has knocked down my search results by almost 100,000, so that's very useful. I'm also going to limit my search by resource type, so articles. I'm looking for research that's done in the last 20 years, so rather than 1900, I'm going to change this to 2000 to 2020 and hit Refine. And under the Subject section, I am going to choose a couple because I think there's more than one subject that my topic relates to. My topic is definitely relevant to psychology, But there's also a health and physical education element, so I'm going to select sports sciences as well and click apply. You'll notice that I've knocked down my search to about 36,500 results. This is a lot better. Under active filters, which will appear once you've started selecting filters for your search, you'll see all of the filters that you've selected already. Anytime you change the language of your search, many of these filters will reset. To keep this from happening, you want to hover over each of these filters and make sure to lock them in place. This means that as your search is changed or as you alter the keywords that you use, these filters will persist. In the previous example, I mentioned that I wanted to make a more narrow search. I limited my search to sports psychology and football. At that time, I didn't have these filters set. So let's go back and edit the keywords of our search to make it a little bit more specific. Now I've limited my search a bit more. I've searched for sports psychology as a phrase, and I've put it in quotation marks. So the database will search sports psychology as one idea. I have an and I've included football because that's the sport I'm most interested in. I've also included a third line, and I have put the geographic location of the United States or Canada. In my original search, I kept getting European football, which is not the kind of football I'm looking for. So by limiting my search to the United States or Canada, I'm finding I'm getting much better results. Once you start looking at the results from even a basic search, you'll start to understand whether your keywords are relevant or not. Using the information that you get from your searches, you can specify them to get more relevant results. I'm pretty happy with this. You'll also notice that even though I've changed this language, all my active filters are still in place, so I don't have to select these again. I'm also down to about 641 results, which is much better than the hundreds of thousands that I had previously. As I go through this list, I'm finding more and more useful results now that I've combined more specific language with these active filters. I'm going to select the articles that I think are most valuable to me using the checkboxes on the side. Make sure to search more than the first page of results. To load additional results, click the Load More Results button at the bottom. After reviewing a few pages of results, I found about 12 articles that I think would be useful to read. Now that I've selected the check mark beside each source that's relevant, I can add all of these together to my pins. When you select multiple resources and you want to add them to your favorites or your pins under your library account, you'll be given the option to add to favorites. That is a general category for all resources. However, you can also create a category for a particular project. I'm going to create a category called Sports Psychology. Hit Enter or Return on the keyboard once you've typed out the category name. Let's make sure our source is saved. I'm going to go to the pin under my account. When you go to your favorites, all of the articles you've selected for all of your projects will be there by default. But on the right-hand side under Labels, I can actually specify the articles I found for sports psychology. Now I have an effective shortlist of sources that would be useful for my assignment. This has been a brief overview of the MRU Library Search.